So Anthony Davis had did a sit down where he expressed some of his true feelings about how he exited LA. And within this sit down, he sort of implies that there's a lack of trust for Rob Pelinka, an agent who is no stranger to these sort of sentiments around NBA circles. As in the second part of this segment, we'll hear from a man who brokered the deal for Kawhi to join the Clippers, and he let it be known that the Lakers were out of the running for Kawhi once Magic Johnson stepped down and Rob Pelinka was left to deal with. That's really been the overall crux in this whole Luka Doncic to LA, is dealing with a lot of the past mistakes of Rob Pelinka. The first round picks, Jalen Hood and Dalton, not necessarily working out. Misusing the mid-level exception on Gabe Vincent and Kendrick Nunn. Also letting Alex Caruso walk away in free agency. Also, let me add on Pelinka. In the past offseason, after he landed his big fish in Luka, did not make any necessary changes that he could present to LeBron James, thus seeking an alternative for LeBron not to opt in. See, with this whole Rich Paul Max Kellerman podcast, they slowly began to unravel that if Rob Pelinka really had a plan, LeBron James would have not opted in for that $50 million. Matter of fact, I'll link that in the description below. You guys can go ahead and check that out. But even though Rob Pelinka has a number of misses while he's been in LA, Jeanie Buss, after selling the team, quickly gave him an extension in August of 2025. And that friends and family hookup within the Laker organization is really one of the reasons why they've lacked innovation ever since their father had passed away. But Anthony Davis right here had expressed some of his sentiments with the trade that pretty much shocked the world, including him and his family. You guys check it out, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
First of all, I had no idea that I was even traded. Zero idea that this was happening, right? Play in Charlotte, have like a 40-20 or something like that. Team goes to Philly, play in Philly, hurt my abdomen, go see the doctor in Philly, and the team going to New York after, but I wasn't going to play. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go back to LA, rehab, get ready. We play the Clippers on Tuesday. At the time we beat Philly, we beat New York. Hey, we're going to be, we beat the Clippers. We're going to be in the 4th seed, right? We're in 5th already. So I'm like, all right, this is the plan. Cool. Fly back to LA, watching the game downstairs in the basement on the TV, playing the Knicks. And I'm like, man, good job, fellas. Good win. Hey, Tuesday I'll be ready. Let's go get this 4th seed, whatever. Now at the time I'm in a dilemma. I'm like, man, should I go on the game, play the game for a little bit, go upstairs, watch a movie? Like, let me see. Go upstairs, like, you know what? I'm gonna go upstairs, watch a movie. Get in the bed, turn the movie on. Wife next to me, and I'm trying to find a movie. I tell her to watch a movie, and I see Rob Pelinka calls me. But mind you, it's 8:45, 9 LA, so it's 12, back in, and 11:45, 12 in New York. So I'm like, man, you know what? I'll hit him back tomorrow, then he texts me like, AD, when you get a chance to be back, me and coach got something to run by you. So I'm like, all right, could be a trade. I mean, I did just come out and say that, I want a big, like, I think we need a big, whatever, get done. Rich said he tried to call me. I never got Rich's call, right? So Rich didn't call my wife. It was like, hey, tell AD to call me, whatever. So she's like, yo, Rich said call him. So I'm like, all right. So I call him. She's like, man, take this downstairs, outside the room, because it's probably going to get loud or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. So get downstairs, my chef down there, he cleaning up. And I'm like, what up, Rich? He's like, man, they just traded you to Dallas. And I'm like, man, shut up. But I know, because I've spoken to Rich before. I'm like, man, Luka's so cold, bro. We used to talk about Luka all the time. And I'm like, man, imagine me with Luka. Like, oh my gosh. Because at the time, I wasn't sure what Bron was going to do, if he was still going to play or retire. But I wasn't even thinking about being traded or asking to leave. I was just saying in general, the next thing as far as what he can do, who can be close to Bron, was Luka. As far as the height, passing ability, he can score, like all that as far as helping my game.
Also, AD, don't leave out that you was going on podcasts with your man D'Angelo Russell talking about how the Lakers needed to make a trade to get a center. You did not want to be at that position. So you were making a few rumblings about you just not being happy being put in that position. Maybe you felt like it was causing you to get injured often. Who knows?
And I was like, man, Luka, man. I'm like, man, have I ever got with Luka? Oh my gosh. And so when he said trades to Dallas, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and I said, who the fuck they gonna trade me for? Luka? like I was just saying, like, who else can you trade me for on that team? And he was like, mind you, they just went to the finals.
Yep.
They just went to the finals. So I'm like, and it was never no discussion about, like, man, we might get AD out of here, or it was nothing, right? And he was like, they traded you for Luka. I'm like, Rich, shut the hell up. What do you want? I'm really thinking he's just playing. And he was like, man, I swear. And at the time, like, Rob Pelinka is calling me. So I'm like, all right, Rich, I'm gonna call you back. Let me see what Rob. No, I'm sorry. Nico was calling me. And I'm like, Rich, I'm gonna call you back. Like, hello? Yeah. I told you I was gonna come get you one day. I wanted you. Huh? I'm still like, all right. I know Rich and Nico cool. Like, y'all playing a joke. Like, this is
he thought he foul play.
Yeah, foul play. Foul play. Got you. So I'm like, huh? So I tell Nico, I didn't even speak. I said, yo, let me call you back. So now I'm like, all right, I'm about to call Rob Pelinka back. So I call Rob Pelinka back, and I'm like, hello? He like, yeah, he, telling me all this stuff. And like, basically I got traded for Luka. And some of the stuff he was saying, I didn't understand. Like, what do you like? We want to, when Bron's done, we want somebody to take over. We want to go younger, rebuild all this. And I'm like, huh? I just didn't understand like what he was saying. But also too, like, as I'm hearing this, I'm now like checked out. Like, I hear you, but I'm not listening, right? And hang up, and my chef is right there in front of me, and I'm like, nigga, I just got traded to the Mavs. He started laughing. Yeah, big dog. So I'm like, you know what? Nigga, I know if this is true. I go on X, nigga, and go straight to Sham's page. Nothing. I'm like, yeah, they playing. So I'm walking out the kitchen, turning the corner to go up the stairs. Joel Embiid calls me. What he calling me for? Mind you, he in Philly, 12 o'clock. I don't answer. Going upstairs, then somebody else called me, another player, and I'm like, wait, hold on. So I go back to Sham's page, and then there it is. Breaking news. Dallas Mavericks trade Luka Doncic, and I'm like, what? Run upstairs. Maybe I just got traded to Dallas. Shut up. But now this time I'm like, I'm not shaking, but I'm like it's like my heart is in my stomach. I'm like, yo, what the fuck just happened? Right? And I show her, and she's like, what the hell? But now I'm like, all right, I'm running back outside. And the first person I called my pop, like, yo, Pop, I just got traded. I'm like, man, shut up. He looking, he can't find that. And as soon as I'm like, bro, I swear to God, it pop up on the ESPN, like, and then my phone started blowing up. Everybody calling. And I'm in shock. Like, I'm genuinely in shock. So I call everybody that's with me, and I'm like, yo, look, I just got traded to Dallas. They don't believe me. Everybody like, you're playing, shut up. They don't see nothing. They're ready to get on this flight in the morning. But I had no idea that this was happening, right? And I couldn't make sense of it because I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, what is the why?
Eventually down the line, we kind of figured out the why. Because a few months later, everyone found out that the Lakers had sold the team for a whopping $10 billion. So Luka kind of ensured the new owners that they will have a future that could be prosperous. And that transaction was great for the league because not only for the price point, but the fact that the league right now, they have a lot of interest from private equity, and also they're trying to expand 2 new NBA teams. So with the Lakers getting $10 billion, they can up their expansion fees. At the end of the day, it's a win-win for the whole league. Even if some of us believe in the conspiracy theories, Dallas Mavericks getting a first overall pick, sort of looking like it's a compensation for the low-key wink-wink deal that no other NBA team even knew Luka was on the trade block. Very interesting.
Like, I'm not understanding, like we come in, I have a conversation with Rob, beginning of the season, I have a conversation with JJ, and everything is like, we playing well, I'm playing great this season. I just come off of 40 and 20, and it's like, AD's the hub, everything around AD. Bron is like, this AD, and I'm like, I thought this was, but at the same time, like, even though I didn't understand it, from my view, I understood it as far as the trade, like, Luka is fucking Luka. Like, you see what he's doing now.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, Luka is at the time, what, he's 27 now or something like that? He was 26, 25. You know what I'm saying? At the time, it was 30, 31, 32. So I'm like, look, from the business standpoint, like, I can't be mad, but like, why? Like, I just couldn't fathom. I couldn't understand it. And I'm like, and nobody told me nothing. Nobody said a thing to me. So you just catch me off guard, like, yeah, you traded to Dallas. That's what I couldn't get over, and I still can't get over. Like, I think I deserve much more respect than that, for what I've, all the time I've been here. Shit, I was there 6 years, all the time I've been there, and all the time, like, we won a championship, like, all this stuff, and I can't get a phone call or a text that tell me, like, look, this is what we're thinking. So all I know is that Rob, what you was calling me for was to tell me that I was getting traded, but that was already 10 minutes before the trade was about to be announced. So you already knew this already, or you had to, at some point, a conversation had to start about me being traded for Luka, right? And it never got to me like, hey, this is what we're thinking, whatever, right? So I think that's the biggest thing that kind of like fucked with me this entire time. But the trade happened, whatever, gets to Dallas. In the first game, like, I wasn't even ready to come back. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was like,
but you was feeling that pressure, I'm sure.
Yeah, hell
I felt the pressure for you. Like,
yeah. I'm like, look, these motherfuckers just went to the finals and they just traded Luka for me. I got to. I have to, and I get there, I get to Dallas, and I check into the hotel and I go get some food, and I come back because I didn't play right away. I come back, and it's a what's the name of that hotel in Dallas? The Crescent Court. And they got the little mailing cards that you can write, and it was one under my door. And I pick it up with some macaroons on the door handle. I don't even eat macaroons, so I open the door, and I open the door, and I get the letter, and it read, "Dear AD, hope you liking your time in Dallas. Here in Dallas, we love Dirk, barbecue, and Luka, and the Cowboys. But what we love more than all of that is championships. The boos you're going to hear are not for you." And it had no name, nothing. I'm like, so right there coming in is like, oh yeah, this shit about to be crazy.
Oh,
right.
That's kind of wild. They send AD some sort of wholesome ransom letter. Talk about Southern hospitality. But you hear it right there from AD when he spoke about Rob Pelinka. There was sort of I don't kind of trust this guy kind of energy he was alluding to. And that's been Rob Pelinka's reputation around NBA circles for a very long time. As now we're going to hear from a very close family friend of Kawhi Leonard, who was a person that had connections to Magic Johnson as well as Jerry West. And he lets it be known, as soon as Magic Johnson has stepped down from basketball operations from the Los Angeles Lakers and Rob Pelinka was left, the Purple and Gold Nation pretty much lost their chances to get Kawhi. And this is not just in reference to Kawhi Leonard in that 2019 free agency. Magic Johnson was in talks to get Kawhi through Johnny Wilkes ever since he asked for that initial trade from the San Antonio Spurs.
And I was doing some work, and Dennis said, "What's up with your boy?" And I'm like, "Who, Dennis? Who you talking about?" And he said, "Magic." I said, "What about her?" He said, "You ain't been watching TV?" And I'm like, "What?" So then I turned it on, then I see he resigned.
So today, I'm going to step down as the president.
So I'm like, oh, no. So Dennis told me to give him a call. So that's when I called him.
Okay.
I called him and I told him, why did you, this is the voice message I live with. Why did you quit? He was going to sign with the Lakers.
You told Jerry West that in order for him to sign with the Clippers.
Listen to me, James. If they don't get Paul George, Kawhi goes back to Toronto for 1 year, and then the next year he's back on the market. Going back to Toronto, because after Irv quit, like I told you, the Lakers were kind of like out of the picture. He wasn't fooling with Pelinka. He's an agent, and so it was like.
You heard it right there. They weren't fucking with Pelinka. They had their eyes set in LA. But again, that man got a certain reputation. Jeannie Buss, that's her guy. So she's going to give that Linda and Kirk Rambis wink wink family contract. Let's just put it at that. But hey, we'll see how that plays out. As soon as Jeannie Buss gets ushered out of that Laker building, I believe Rob Pelinka's time in LA will be soon to follow, because that new ownership does not have any loyalty to him, especially with the job that he has done while he's been president. A lot of misses coming from his end. Anthony Davis now alluding to Rob Pelinka not necessarily being fully upfront only adds to that. So how at the end of the day the Lakers could move forward in the future, just attracting more free agents to put around Luka when you have a president of basketball operations with this kind of reputation.